I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't replace.
It's not in the case of anybody.
That's why I spend my life with you.
Hi, hotties, kettles, tea stirs. You're here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. So I've been holding off on this because truthfully, I'm confused. We have to talk about everything that's been going on with Mel and the blogger Sherelle World, thinking that Mel was talking about her when Mel clearly was responding to one blogger, which was AL. We have to talk about AL and his response to Mel in her live and him suing her. And we also have to talk about Keke going on the Gossip Girls live and basically clearing up what's going on. And in my opinion, it's clear as day what's going on. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you guys are up to date each and every time that I upload. I'm going to be real with you guys. I didn't watch AL's response. I thought based on what Mel said in the live, it was kind of clear, but AL did go live, and from what you guys say, he doubled down in what Mel said, and he basically said that, yeah, he was reaching out to her. So now I guess I'm kind of confused as to where all the animosity is coming from, and that's with Mel and Keke, and we're going to talk more about the Keke thing. With that, a blogger by the name Sherelle World made a video basically stating that the millimeters are crazy and that they don't need to be talking about her. And she was asking Mel to keep Mel's name out of her mouth. And I'm just a little bit confused, Miss Sherelle World, because I don't know at what point she mentioned you. And I don't know who told you she mentioned you, but at the end of the day, truth be told, all the millimeters pretty much forgotten about you when you were on board with the things that Walkie Talkie was putting out pertaining to the custody battle. Mel didn't create any list telling millimeters to go after them. However, she let it be known, if you a millimeter, is no way you can support people that are attacking me. And based on everything that's going on now, I would say, yeah, she's being attacked. So we're going to have to break this commentary down, because the biggest thing that is alarming to me across the board is why we continuously protect men that make us uncomfortable, that abuses us, and overstep boundaries. And a bigger part of this issue is the way Black men respond to rejection. And at the end of the day, this is why I be telling y'all I don't like men. And although AL reached out to me when a lot of y'all were attacking me for a simple interview, I don't stand behind him in the back and forth with Mel, because at the end of the day, AL, I'm just going to be real and call a spade a spade. I don't understand what would have been so wrong with saying, you know what, if I made you feel uncomfortable, I apologize. I don't fuck with you no more. You don't fuck with me, and we can move on. We need to learn how to communicate as adults and not take things so personal. Now, granted, I can't tell nobody how to beef with anybody, because y'all already know. I'll take it there, but not with a bottom bitch begging for my attention. However, getting upset because people don't necessarily want to be associated with you personally isn't a good look, in my opinion, especially as a blogger. And I understand being in the entertainment industry, you want to have connections, you want to build relationships. But if people don't want to build those relationships with you, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is call a spade a spade. Build connections around that person and play the game accordingly. However, in my libido voice, even though I'm not in the entertainment industry, I can attest to, if somebody publicly let you know that they are uncomfortable, privately and publicly let you know that they are uncomfortable with the way that you are choosing to align yourself with them as a man, it just doesn't look good to then be upset and try to create an ongoing back and forth beef. But at the end of the day, like I said in another video, we're going to have to talk about the bigger issue in our community. That is people having an issue with women setting boundaries. And this is, in fact, why we set so many boundaries, or why we should. Because if you respond in this way because I don't want to necessarily align myself with you because of my discernment, there's no telling what else you would do. And granted, you guys have multiple examples on YouTube. So now it becomes a thing about your character. Now it becomes an issue with you failing to accept rejection in the way you choose to accept rejection, which again and calls for a bigger conversation and could be associated with the reason why women, black women that is, are unalived every 4.5, 5 hours by the men in our very own community. A lot of that stems from rejection and a plethora of other issues. But we have to address the topic at hand, and that is continuing to make a safe space for women to continue to set boundaries and feel safe. That's the issue that my generation, especially if you are on TikTok, is having with a lot of the men today. It's typically why so many women are scared of the men in our community, because if you try to set boundaries, you become a threat to them, it seems like. If you don't have any boundaries, then they threaten you and seemingly do whatever it is that they want to do to you. So the bigger conversation, in my opinion, should be, AL, why is it such an issue if she doesn't want to align herself with you? Seeing as though you seemingly did like her and want to align yourself with her and be in her circle. Furthermore, with the Keke thing, why lash out and come at them the way that you have when at one point y'all had some sort of alliance? Honestly, it's just about accountability. We have to be able to hold each other accountable in our community, especially the men in our community. Everybody at one point in their life should be able to humble themselves enough to put themselves in other people's shoes. So I am going to talk about Keke, and I don't want to waste too much time on Keke, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, the bigger story should be, why was Walkie Talkie allowed to stay in the house when at that time he was exposed and admitted to releasing or trying to release the revenge pee with his cold sore, while everybody was making a big deal about two cousins bickering? Why is it that Keke was voted out the house and everybody could band together to kick this woman out of the house for having a bickering match with her cousin, another woman, yet you have Mel and her baby mama dealing with extremely serious problems, which in my opinion, if aren't taken serious enough, can be life-threatening. This is a man that was married to this woman and has now taken every dig he can take to pull her down. He was willing to embarrass the mother of his children in order to make a point. And all of these people knew about it. This is a woman that allowed you people to stay in her home at one point. She allowed you people to come on her platform or help you with this opportunity to build your business by way in which creating this show. She tried to open up the doors for you guys to be able to network with her people multiple times. Even tried to shed light to the dark that you guys may not have known about within your marriages. And at the very least, you guys can't come together as women and understand how that could be uncomfortable or problematic, because what if it was your husband? And I know a lot of women sit up and say, but it ain't. But what if it was? And I know you would still double down on, but it ain't, because I know who I married. But at the end of the day, people have children. And so regardless of anything, if you do not receive your karma, it comes through your bloodline. And a lot of people don't care about their bloodline, clearly, because of the things that they do to people on a day-to-day without thinking about how it could affect their families. I.e., Walkie Talkie trying to put out a revenge tape of him and his wife. What did you think that would do to your children? Did you think that they would make them hate their mother? Because if anything, they would grow stronger with her. They would feel her pain and her hurt, and they would mold their hearts onto hers. But that's enough of this. Let's get into the Keke live that she had with the Gossip Girl. Basically, from my understanding, Keke didn't really know about the Houston trip, but she ended up going to Houston. She already had her own hotel and everything like that. So when the cast did the meeting to basically try to vote her out, she really didn't care about that. Keke said what she cared about was the therapy session or the counseling session that they had for her. She also let it be known that she took no issues with Mel, because Mel and Stormy had her back as much as they could, and they couldn't do no more. Although Mel is a producer, she wears her cast hat very well, and she plays her part as a cast member. But she's an EP regardless. Mind you guys, I'm just giving you guys my understanding of the situation. If there's anything that I missed out, leave it down in the comment section below. Also, you guys could just head over to the Gossip Girls if you haven't already, because they did the live with her. Keke said in that moment she was upset, and the only people that she called was her mom and her grandma. Keke said she didn't call AL at all that night. However, Keke later reveals in that live that her mom was the one that called AL that night. So basically, Keke's mom is AL's source, or one of his sources. So whatever happened in Houston, it happened that night. Keke called her mom and her grandma. Her grandma and her mom got off the phone with Keke and called AL. And AL got off the phone with the mom and the grandma and called another content creator, per Keke's words. And that's how AL had found out about the Houston trip, because of Keke's mom, which in my opinion is very fucking messy, because why are you doing that? And Keke even said that, like, she asked her mom when she found out about it, like, why would you do that? So Keke's mom called AL, but Keke didn't know that her mom called AL until AL made a video crying, basically asking everybody, if Mel did something wrong, would y'all hold her accountable? And Mel had called Keke, basically asking Keke, what's going on, because this person is playing with my character as if I would do something to you. And Keke was basically like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you're talking about, Mel. I swear the only person that I called was this person, blah, 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 blah. That's basically how she was saying that it happened. So she said that after she got off the phone with Mel, she then called her mom, and then her mom told her, Keke, I gotta be real with you. After that night, I had called AL and I told AL. Then that's when Keke was like, oh my gosh, mom, why would you do that? So Keke knew from right then and there, when AL made the video crying, basically asking would we hold Mel accountable, that her mom was the one that gave him the information. However, she made it very clear that she told him multiple times that Mel had nothing to do with it. Mel had her back. So she does not know why he threw Mel in the conversation. What I thought was a good question that Tay asked Keke, which is what I was thinking all along, because Keke, although you want to sit up and tell us, oh, my mom did not say nothing bad about Mel, this, that, and the third, you don't know what your mama was on the phone agreeing to or saying mad in the moment. So Tay asked her, well, do you think he was probably saying, well, Mel is this, Mel be doing that, and then your mama was agreeing and then got mad and probably said something shady or shisty based on that? And I think that is very plausible, and that makes the most sense. So if there is a recording of her mom talking ish, I genuinely believe that is the way that it could come about. But at the end of the day, Keke let it be known that when she got off the phone, she called him and addressed him about the situation and told him repeatedly that Mel didn't have anything to do about the situation. So I am not understanding where Mel is coming into the story as far as the Houston trip and why AL brought her up. But the reason why this was a big deal is because he got on the platform and he was crying, making it seem as though Mel did Keke dirty. Now, another thing that came up in a live from Gossip Girls was the fact that AL told Keke and told some of his viewers that he was crying because something had happened to his cousin or his brother or something like that. And basically everybody felt like the entire video was pretty much performative. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I am a millimeter. I don't watch his content. So a lot of this I didn't even know. A lot of the information y'all had to bring to me in order for me to go to it and find out. I think AL is a very strategic blogger. I think he doesn't do anything for no reason. And I genuinely think he's in it for himself. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But like I said, when it comes to men in our community dealing with rejection, that's a conversation that has to be discussed. Because I believe that you did want to align yourself with Mel because, again, that's the smart thing to do in the entertainment industry. You want to have those connections, but overall won't look good because, like Keke said, there have been people that are in the entertainment industry that has hit her up that was like, oh yeah, no, we can't mess with him. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what Keke revealed in the live that she did with the Gossip Girls. Keke also said that she felt that she was taken advantage of. She also said that, but once she found out everything that happened, she had the conversation with everybody. She was planning on having a conversation and revealing everything with her mother after that episode aired. But one thing that I thought was very interesting and was just very sad, actually, is especially if I just Y'all, okay, so Keke revealed that that AL had called his or her mom and basically told her mom that he wanted to, I guess, unalive himself. And her mom was very sad by that. So I'm assuming they felt like they had some type of bond or something of the sort. And y'all, if this is true, I mean, I'm just at a loss for words because, I mean, I feel bad if it's true because I don't want nobody to, want to unalive themselves. But at the end of the day, do you see how that made me feel, AL, if this is true? Somebody revealing that personal information about you? Because that is something that you were willing to do when it came to the Melody girl, that the Melody MC. I'm sorry, Melody MC, because I know your name. I was just having a brain fart at the moment. But that is what happened with the Melody MC lady who was your moderator at one point. And I'm not sure if you guys have ever paid attention, but the day ones probably know. When I first got on YouTube, I remember the whole falling out, and I was under everybody's chat trying to figure out what was going on. I even got on AL's panel one day to kind of ask some questions, but he clearly didn't want to be clear and open up. So I kind of took it for what it was and understood. And I didn't care for him for that, genuinely. So that was where I was with his content. However, like I said, when that situation happened with me, with that other hoe, that Megamind lady, who was clearly clout chasing because I humbled myself enough to try to understand her viewpoint. That was a side of social media or YouTube that I never saw. And the fact that so many people aligned themselves with that hoe when she was an elder, clearly trying to attack me for clout, and how I humbled myself to go on her platform, and then she tried to set me up by dropping me every few seconds. Then I finally get mad and I start cursing her ass out. Y'all had a problem because I cursed her ass out after she disrespected me. And nobody wanted to call out the fucking obvious of somebody clout chasing and being disrespectful because I'm a blogger and I'm interviewing. So when I was going through that and everybody aligned themselves with that old hoe that was clearly weird and clout chasing, him reaching out to me, I respected that. And I also felt like, okay, maybe I should give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this is just something that people do. Maybe this was done because he had a lot of followers or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to lie. I definitely took that approach and wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because it's so easy for y'all to attack women, especially the younger black women. If y'all feel like an elder wasn't respected enough after they fucking disrespected the shit out of me. And like I said in one of my previous videos, if him reaching out to me was him being strategic, well, that was a smart fucking move. But at the end of the day, I'm not necessarily going to agree with the way that he's approaching the situation with Melody because it's uncalled for, period. All this takes was, and I can't tell nobody how to approach the situation, but in my mind, just him being a man, I felt like all it took was okay, you felt that way. I was just trying to, I guess, build or grow or, grow a connection. Not a connection, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. I was just trying to network. I thought that was the way to do it. I apologize if I was overbearing. That was not my intentions. I just wanted to put myself in the rooms with the people that inspire me. And I'm talking about this should have been the private conversation. It should have never gotten public. And even after it was public, a simple, y'all know what? I was trying to get in the same rooms. I thought this was the way to do it. If I was overbearing, I apologize. That was not my intention. If she don't fuck with me, so be it. You're not going to roast me on no live, but we don't have to fuck with each other. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? And just let it be that, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, the bigger conversation need to be the way black men deal with rejection. That's just my opinion. And why do we always protect these men and always are so much harsher on women? Keke said a lot more. And like I said, it's a lot more I can say about this situation, but I would literally be here forever. So we're probably going to have to go live. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you guys are up to date each and every time that I upload.
So let me go ahead and get these names clear so you all know. Keke's makeup artist is named Brianna, okay? Tisha's makeup artist, everyone know her name is Jasmine Ray. And from the recordings from behind the wall, everyone know that the person that was fired was Tasha. That's actually public right there. That's on the first recording. That's public. So everyone can know the names. Tasha is Kimmy's makeup artist. Brianna is Kiki's makeup artist. And Jasmine Ray is Tisha's makeup artist. So hopefully everyone is following along. Let's go ahead and break it down. Stormy told Brianna about what was going on because Stormy and Brianna, they're friends.
Right. Stormy and Brianna talk. They're friends. Stormy hit Brianna up, was like, look, Tisha and Jasmine, who is Tisha's makeup artist, they are going to production. And they're trying to have you fired.
Keke never mentioned Stormy's name. Brianna was the one that actually said that Stormy was the one that told her. Keke never mentioned it. And I also said that to Stormy out of respect. I said, look, just to let you know, I'm going to upload this right here. Keke was not the one that said your name.
When Brianna came, after me and Tisha had this conversation, I go to Brianna and we're talking. I'm like, girl, look, Tisha told me this. Please tell me there's no truth to this. And she's like, Miss Keke. She calls me Miss Keke. I promise you, I'm not the one spreading this rumor. I don't know why they're trying to get me fired, but Jasmine and Brianna had a kind of a beef of their own that I really don't know anything about, honestly. And so she's like, Jasmine trying to get me fired. She's telling Miss Tisha that I'm the one for spreading this rumor. That's just simply not true. This is what the deal is. She has an ex-boyfriend who's bitter and who says that he broke up with her because she was messing around with Tisha's husband. So, Miss Keke, I can prove everything to you. This was nothing that came out of my mouth. And so, okay, well, Brianna, call me and, let me know what we need to do because we need to figure out how we need to play this. I don't want anybody saying that this came out of Keke's camp, okay?
Right. Brianna did say that she ended up going to production.
Yes.
Because she said Jasmine allegedly went to them crying this and that or whatever. She said out of her mouth, Brianna said she went to production to basically let them know this isn't true.
Right.
Because they was trying to place the blame on her. Her conversation with production was before you even got to her to even talk about it. Brianna went to production and they said they already knew about it. Now,
after she told me this, of course, production, came to me. And I'm acting like, oblivious, like I don't know anything. Like they're like, Keke, we know. That they've told us many times, this ain't nothing new, and I'm like, well, I don't really know how to respond to it because I don't want to be responsible for being the one that's putting this rumor out.
Your makeup artist said that when she went to production told her to bring some truth to it. And I'm trying to figure out.
I told her, no, we're not going to do that.
Huh?
I told her, no, we're not going to do
that. So I'm curious about when they say bring some truth to the situation. When they say truth, are they trying to say bring some truth to clear your name or bring some truth to the allegation that's out there for their use of the show? I'm still a little confused on what does it mean bring some truth to the situation.
I honestly think that it was both. I think that it was bring some truth to prove that you had nothing to do with this, but also bring some proof that this is really going on. We're talking to this guy. He's the one who tells us that there's this threesome that took place. There's this threesome that took place between him, his girlfriend, which is Tisha's makeup artist at the time, and this other girl. I'm not going to say her name. And so I'm like, okay.
And to be honest, that's the only person name who haven't been called out. And we all know the name.
Right.
We just haven't said it.
Right.
But go ahead.
So he tells me about the story about how they had a threesome. And one night I wasn't with them. My girlfriend and this girl that we had a threesome with, they went out by themselves. I was not present. They saw Marceau in the club. They hooked up with Marceau. They went to Black. They had a threesome. That's what he tells me and Brianna on the phone call at the same time. And I'm like, wow, this is really crazy. And I asked him, I'm like, look, dude, just please don't lie to me. Like, I know that I'm taking this message back to Tisha. I'm taking this back to her because she had already hit me up and said, well, she had already saw me and said that, my makeup artist was the one responsible for this rumor. So I'm going to go back and tell her everything that's being said, of course. I'm talking to him about this the whole time, but I'm playing him at the same time. And he's like, yo, my homegirl got proof and yada, yada, yada. Then he switched it up on us. Because he was like, well, me and Marceau have a barbershop that, he's working on building for me. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, you know what? I just made all that up. I made everything up. I just lied, just made all that up. And I'm like, I'm sitting there looking like, you're so lame. So you're saying you're lying about Jasmine messing with Marceau. And he's like, yeah, I just made it all up. So this is what originally made me think like he's full of it. Because his thing to me was that he and Marceau and him too, they would all do coca and get messed up. And so, you know what would take place after that. And I'm like, is this just a one-time thing where she was messed up? And he's like, I don't know. Next day I called my cousin. And I'm like, hey, Tisha, what are you doing? You know, we talked about our days. We both had hectic days that day. And I said, hey, what do you have to do tomorrow? She's like, tomorrow, thank God I'm totally free. I don't have anything to do. I'm like, cool. Come by tomorrow. I have something I want to talk to you about. You know, so I'm going to talk to her about everything this guy said. And I'm going to tell her, look, I don't think y'all need to trust this guy. I don't think y'all need to do business with this guy. I feel like this dude lying and he's looking for a come up. Because those were his words. How can I benefit from this? How can my brand benefit from this? And I'm looking at him like, dude, whatever. But he don't know I'm playing him the whole time just to get information to take back to my cousin. Mm-hmm. So I call her and I'm like, come over. And the reason I'm like, come over is because I don't want anybody to get to her where they can kind of sway her in a different direction. I want her to come over so we can talk about it face to face, so I can show her the evidence that I have, you know, and we just kind of work it out, you know. And honestly, even set this dude up and play him like he's trying to play us, like I felt like he was trying to play us. So she didn't show up. So I'm like, okay. And he went to them, and then he's like, oh, well, your cousin hit me up, and your cousin asked me all these questions about you and Marcel, trying to make me admit to something that didn't happen. He asked me about, you know, my girl sleeping with Marcel, and I was like, nah, that never happened. She called me, and she like, did you tell? Are you calling around telling people or asking people about me and Marcel? And I'm like, I'm already on the defense by how she's approaching me. So I'm like, first of all, no, that's not how that went. I did call around asking the boy who, after you came to me about saying my makeup artist was spreading the rumors, and I told you I'd get to the bottom of it. I did talk to the boy who was responsible for spreading the rumors. She's like, well, why didn't you tell me? I said, well, I tried to tell you, but you didn't show up. And she's like, well, you could tell me that over the phone. You can't make me tell you something over the phone. I don't want to tell you over the phone. I had my reasons for not wanting to tell you over the phone. I was like, and I didn't really, you know, press you about it because I really think he's lying, honestly. And she was like, well, I think that's shady. Well, you know what? If you think it's shady because I'm trying to find information that you brought to me, then F you. For real.
Yeah. I pull up, roll the windows down it. I pull up, roll the windows down it. Yeah. I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't
In the case of anybody.
That's why I spend my life